Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to a new video. Today I'll be covering the nerfs that we have seen to Warrior this week and how they have impacted us on the Mythic Raid to come and the Mythic Plus to come in the next 2 days. To start off, we have seen the first set of nerfs hit us mostly on our AoE for both Arms and Fury, with a hit on Bladestorm, and for Fury specifically another hit on our Odin's Fury. Now today they have also hit us with an extra aura nerf on the Fury Warrior abilities, with all our abilities being nerfed by an extra 3% on top of the previous nerfs that I just mentioned. Now for everyone that is already packing their bags, ready to reroll to another class, I figured this is probably the best time to talk a little bit about where this leaves us. Now for both Arms and Fury, we have seen about a 1% drop in single target, with Arms still pulling ahead of Fury in pure ST by about 1%. In M+, however, Fury took a way bigger hit than Arms, with a loss of about 3%, while Arms only lost about 1%. And for our second nerf, we see Fury taking a flat 3% aura nerf on all our abilities. Getting nerfed on all your abilities does not necessarily translate over to losing the exact amount of damage as the percentage, however, it is still relatively close. Now, an important note to take from this is that Arms was already pulling ahead a little bit in ST compared to Fury, but will now do even better on those pure ST fights, as we also got hit by that aura nerf, and this will make Arms pull ahead by about 3.5 to 4% damage on those pure ST raid encounters. Now, that does mean that we are most likely gonna see a lot more Arms gameplay than Fury gameplay in the Mythic race, because we just need a whole lot more single target damage to get those bosses down before they enrage. If we look for Fury, we will still see them be one of the highest performing specs in the raid, as the cooldowns and fight layouts work really well with Fury, and our upfront burst just complements that even more. And that's why it's probably not a surprise to you that if we look at the highest damaging parses, that we do see Fury clearly pulling ahead of the rest of the pack, and this has a few reasons. Now first of all, Fury has significant on-demand burst, which not all classes have access to. Now this means specifically in Heroic that we are able to put out loads more damage on the adds during the fights, bloating up our damage quite significantly. And secondly, we see loads of fights with extremely favorable timers towards Fury, and as an example to this would be the Brute Twister fight, with adds spawning on about a 45-second cycle, on which we will always be able to use either a Bladestorm and Odin's Fury or our full set of cooldowns. Now there is one problem, however, when we take these things into mind and the tuning of our tier set. Most classes have their performance somewhat tuned around them having a completed 4 set, and we still do not see that many classes that have that. So in the weeks to come, we will see other classes rise a lot in power, while Fury Warrior and Arms Warrior will both remain quite similarly to what we already are, as our tier set is quite an insignificant increase of only about 2%. Now if you combine this with the adds living a lot longer on Mythic difficulty, I do think that we will see other classes rise to the occasion, such as a Frosty for example, that also have quite significant AoE damage output. Unfortunately for our Mythic Plus players, it's quite known for Blizzard to tune classes around raid performance. And the way that the raid favors the heavy on-demand burst profile from Fury means that the nerfs we've gotten impact us on Mythic Plus more than anything. Now if we combine both of these nerfs together that we just talked about, we see that we've lost about 6% damage over the course of an entire dungeon, which makes a massive dent in our M+ performance. Now, for M+, we are pretty much reliant on our damage output, as we do not really bring too much else to the group, and this might impact how often we are getting taken into those Mythic Plus runs in the season to come. Now our class was already not meta to begin with, but this definitely does not help us along the way. Now lastly, we've also seen a few buffs to both Colossus and Mountain Tane, trying to boost up that significantly underperforming hero talent in both our specs, and even after all the tuning that they've done on Mountain Tame Fury and Colossus Arms, we still see them be significantly worse than their Slayer counterparts. So to summarize, I hope that you guys are ready to farm some arms gear for some single target encounters, as we see a new clear winner in pure ST fights, being Arms Warrior. Now let me know in the comments down below what you think about all these changes. Leave a like, consider subscribing, and as always, I hope to see you guys in the next one.